Holy fuck. Dope. Dope.
Oh my gosh, sorry dude. That was beautiful though. That was a really good one. Start date 5/18/23. I am reporting live from my car. It is 5:31 a.m. Why am I up at 5:31 a.m.? That is a great question. When your childhood hero asks you to film him skating your favorite pump track with your favorite filming medium, an FPV drone, you say heck to the yes. So this is me waking up and me driving to Miami first thing in the morning. It's not even sunrise yet. The sun hasn't even started coming up yet. I'm usually not a big Starbucks head, but I forgot to make coffee this morning. So I'm gonna stop by for a little coffee. Maybe if I'm a little more awake, I can give a little backstory of like Chris's influence, indirect influence on my shaping of my youth and all of that, because it's definitely funny stuff, hilarious. Good morning. Every time I drive down to Miami, I play the P game, where I bring lots of hydration options, water, or I might bring a coffee, and I'll be drinking both on the way down. And then by the time I'm 15-20 minutes away, I have to pee so bad, but then I just have to hold it. Hopefully there's not a whole lot of traffic coming down, because it's only before rush hour, but 95 in Florida is quite a chaotic scene, so I wouldn't be surprised if I get stuck in a little bit of surprise traffic. I don't think I've ever talked about how much of a profound effect rollerblading and then skating in general has had a positive effect on my life and kind of changed the trajectory of my life. And I've had some moments of reflection recently thinking about that, because I got my first pair of quad skates for my 12th birthday, because I was sitting around playing Sega Genesis way too much, and my parents were concerned that I wasn't spending enough time outside. So God bless them. I don't remember if it was them or if it was my uncle who got me a pair of quad skates. I remember like first skating, barely standing on those things, constantly falling, constantly busting my ass, and like kind of hating it at first. My neighborhood friends and I all started skating together. We had a nice little smooth paved parking lot in my apartment complex that we were living in Staten Island, and we would all just roll around there. We didn't know what we were doing. We weren't doing any jumps, weren't doing any grinds. I had no idea what any of that was. I don't know if I think it was 7th grade. The movie Airborne came out. Coffee. I remember seeing Airborne for the first time, and like that was it. Like for like a 13-year-old like immigrant kid trying to form their identity around anything, just trying to belong or trying to figure out what they like, what they're into. It was kind of life-changing, honestly. Like I remember I'm like, oh shit, like Mitchell Guzin is the coolest movie like character I've ever seen. It's like I tried to model myself after the way the character dressed in the movie. I tried to get the same pads, get the same helmet. I think what kind of probably like really like put it over the top for me was the montage of when Mitchell gets his skates back because he moves from California to Ohio to stay with his cousin. Movie plot, he forgot his skates. Then the skates are reintroduced in the middle of the movie as he's like kind of at his lowest point. Fish out of water, I can relate to that. I've always felt a little bit of an outcast when I was a kid, trying to sort of find where I fit, And this dude, does this insane montage, and jumping stairs, grinding on rails, quarter pipes and half pipes, wall rides, like the wall rides, man. I still love wall rides to this day. I think a good proper wall ride is, yeah, that movie like really like, I was like, oh, like you can do jumps. Oh, like you can do this. Oh, you can do that with wheels beneath your feet. This is incredible. Like, I need to do this. I need to figure out how to do this. And then later, I like looking at the credits. Now, Shane McDermott's stunt double was Chris Edwards, who, as you know, is one of the sort of like the originators of like inline skating in its current form. Like him and a handful of other people shaped the way rollerblading is approached. So obviously, being a 13-year-old kid obsessed with this movie, I think I would rent it, or I owned the tape. I don't remember, but I would come home after school, watch that movie, throw my skates on, throw my bullet ass looking helmet on, throw my boneless knee pads on, and just go shred. Try to replicate that montage as best as I could. Something happened where like all the neighborhood kids started wanting to learn how to grind and jump off ramps. Like our parents helped us build launch ramps and like grind boxes and stuff. And I'm rambling. It's early. Since then, like I discovered Cokes 2, just elevated that shit. Mad Beef, all these like old videos we used to just watch over and over and over and over again. And so, when Chris Edwards calls, you fucking get up and you sesh, That's all I gotta say. I'm stoked. My inner Grom is screaming. The sun is rising. It's a beautiful morning. This is gonna rock. Getting pretty close. It's hard to get up early to go skate or film, but I'll show you the view. These kind of views are like what kind of make it worth it. It's funny because this place also holds a very significant emotional, sort of sentimental value for me, because right around the end of the pandemic, or the end, but anyway, around 2021, when people were coming out of their caves and all that stuff, Mike came to visit, and he actively searched for cool spots to skate. I was still not technically skating during that time. Like I was kind of like, I took a long 20-year break. We came here because I was filming him for the I Dream of Skating video, and Mike found this place. I probably wouldn't have come here if it wasn't for Mike. So Mike and I had this like 2-week-long adventure of just like going to different places, skating it, him skating it, me filming him. And then we came here, and it was like, I remember just sitting there on the grass, watching these people skate, chill out, having a picnic, in this beautiful park right by the beach, on this beautiful, colorful, vibrant pump track. And I'm like, this is what I've been missing. That's what kind of tipped me over the edge to be like, hey, I want to experience this moment in time again and again and again. And I got a pair of quads. Now I have 3 pairs of quads, 2 inline skates. It's around like, it's 2 years later. I'm still coming back here, and it's still 110% makes it worthwhile, because look at that sunrise. Woo-hoo-wee! That, my friends, is a genuine Florida sunrise.
It's a beautiful day to go skate.
Flop. Gates can't stop me. Hear me? It did seem to rain a little earlier because there is some wetness on the ground. And sometimes, that dampness can lead to slipperiness. I'm gonna test out the pump track. Muscle fatigue is just setting in. I've been skating and exercising nonstop for the last like 3-4 days. Haven't really stretched, and there might be some wet spots here, so wish me luck. All the best. Godspeed, everyone. Excelsior! Good so far. Little wet spot here. Not bad. Okay. Good. A little wet. Woo! Oh, there we go. Taking note. I'm feeling that. All right, so to report back, it's definitely a couple of little sketchy wet spots. But it's not anything that wouldn't dry up rather quickly, I hope. Especially with the sun coming up right now behind me. Usually dries things up pretty quick in Florida. Okay, while I have a moment to kind of elaborate on this whole skating, rollerblading, changing my life's trajectory, and you know how I am as a human being. Like right now, I'm 42 years old and I do video production full time, and the whole thing with angles and everything. Fuck this. This is stupid. I guess what I'm trying to say is getting into rollerblading as an action sport, as a culture, at a very young age, puts me here standing in front of this camera right now talking to you. Because I don't think I would have taken up FPV drones, filmmaking, capturing video, if I wasn't for seeing Hoax 2, seeing Airborne, Mad Beef, multitudes of skate videos, and watching how this movement corresponded to this music, which caused this feeling. Now I'm trying to do in my older age as an adult as like a career, and it's crazy. It's just crazy how everything kind of comes full circle. If it wasn't for me filming Mike here with the FPV drone, I probably wouldn't have never met Ray, the guy who painted this mural on this pump track. I wouldn't have met countless other artistic individuals, athletes, skaters, all of these amazing human beings. So here I am standing on a pair of skates on this pump track, and I'm about to film one of my favorite skaters of all time here, one of my favorite places of all time. That's pretty freaking cool. Pretty grateful right now. There's our culprit. I'm gonna use my feet. Job well done. Ta-da. 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 Yo. I went around the opposite. Woo-wee. All right. All right, so this is Editing Greg. Sort of add a little context to what's happening right now. So I had a gig the weekend prior to this. Oh, embarrassing. Oh, so embarrassed. And during that gig, I brought my FPV drones to film with, and I was very careless with my remote controller, and I broke the antenna on the remote controller. So my drone couldn't fly beyond 10 feet before just falling to the ground. So that was extremely embarrassing, to say the least, especially when I was, you had this whole big buildup. I started recording this video at 4 a.m. I'm like, I get there. Big mistake was to not test my equipment before taking off, because it was working just fine the weekend prior.
even with the visibly broken antenna, it was still working. So Chris was a very good sport about it. We recorded some clips with the 360 camera. I could barely keep up with him on my skates. So it definitely was like, hey, let's meet up like next week. I'll repair my remote. It's all good, you know, like please, you know, let's do this. And of course he was like, yeah, no worries. Let's plan for that. And here's the final result. We got a good 6 clips of him just wiling out on this pump track, like the fastest I've ever seen somebody on a pair of skates go, you know, do this thing.
Holy fuck. Go. Oh my gosh. Sorry, dude.
That was beautiful though. That was a really good one. I want to get you like super, like right when you do the toe roll. Yeah. I want to get really low. Then I need to like get back into like following you. But the most interesting shots are the ones where you're facing the camera. I'm trying to stay off your ass. Yeah. More to the side and more like it's challenging, but it's fun. As long as I don't hit anybody. Yeah.
But yeah, this I wanted to just sort of comment on the fact that he found a gap that was, I don't know, it's like 10 feet long, right on that next curve, like that curved area, like right here. We're seeing if he can gap it into the bank. And this is his, he did it in 3 attempts. Managed gigantic air, and it was he's the consummate showman. Like, this guy put on a show for all the people at the park. It was incredible. It was amazing to witness this dude's athleticism. This is my favorite clip. This is the top clip that we both liked a lot.
Fucking Luke sang that shit too.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up, man?
Alright, if you've made it this far in the video, you are an amazing human being. Thank you for sticking around. Check out my Bandcamp. I have music on there. I should be releasing new music hopefully soon. I make lots of random, interesting content. One of those things is skating related, obviously, but I do enjoy flying FPV drones. I do enjoy filmmaking, and I enjoy making electronic music. So again, thank you again. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or don't. Doesn't matter. What matters is you're having a wonderful day, and yeah. Thanks again. I'm Greg, and I'll catch you latest.